Hello, this is John Paval with Access Arts Live. I'm here to give you a heads up on 3 organ concerts that will be coming up this week, Wednesday and Saturday, coming to you from the Roman Catholic Cathedral in Moscow, live streamed by the excellent Facebook, YouTube live stream channel Art Bene. And I commend them to you as of great interest. They mix the organ together with voice, with choirs, sometimes with orchestras. This week it'll be with oboes and flutes and a countertenor and sand animation. So I can't wait to tell you all about it. But before I get started, let me remind you, if you're watching on Facebook, click on the like button, like the video, and then we can send you an invite to like or follow the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, click on the subscribe button, will you please? If you're watching on any of our other 4 platforms, please don't just like the video. If you like this video or any of our videos, follow or subscribe to us on X, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. And now let us get to what we have for you this week. You can see there, that's a photograph of the Roman Catholic Church in Moscow, which has been through a lot over the years, let me tell you, although that's not our subject today. So let's get started. Wednesday, February 19th, the Roman Catholic Cathedral in Moscow celebrates the 340th anniversary of Johann Sebastian Bach with a concert for organ, oboe, and voice playing a wide selection of the master's works. This will be Wednesday, February 19th at 6 o'clock European time, noon on the East Coast, 9 in the morning on the West Coast, and that'll be 8 o'clock Moscow time. The organist, let me put up the picture of the organist for you, which I so often just forget to do, and then it's not right there at the beginning of these announcements. When the organist is Tatiana Andrianova, and here's a picture of her. There, looking very sure of herself. On the oboe will be Emil Miroslavsky, and the voice is countertenor Rustam Yavayev. He's an invited soloist of the Bolshoi Theater in Russia and the Helicon Opera Theater, so he's somewhat recognized for what his skills are. Let me tell you a little bit about Tatiana. She's about 42. She was born in 1972. So no, that would make her more 50. 52. Went to the Moscow Conservatory, graduated with honors back in 1998. Then she also studied harpsichord. Got involved for a decade or so doing educational concerts dedicated to Baroque music, working with the Moscow State University Chamber Orchestra, which I think is something she continues to do. She has also been accompanist and organist for the music, television, and radio, the Russian State Music, Television, and Radio Center. So she's sort of at the center of things in the Russian media as well. And she's done some touring, particularly in Italy and in Russia. She was awarded the Certificate of Honor of the Ministry of Communications and Mass Media of the Russian Federation already like a decade ago. So she's something. Excuse me. Now let me tell you something of what I can't tell you an awful lot about the organ. It is a Kuhn organ, which was originally constructed. I have a picture of the pipework for you, I think. Yeah, I think I do. Here's the manual of the organ. It's a 4 manual organ, and I can then show you the pipework, which I think I've shown before. This manual is something new that I just dug up. It's very difficult for me to get any information about the specifics. You keep reading that it's one of the greatest organs in Russia, but they don't tell you exactly why. And the truth of it is this organ was built in the 1950s by the Kuhn organ company in Switzerland for a Reformed Protestant cathedral. And in 2002, that cathedral donated the organ to the Roman Catholic Cathedral, which was badly in need of one because over the years, whatever they had was, well, during the Soviet years, was taken away and then it was replaced with not much of anything. So it was a big deal for them to get this, and it includes one 32-foot pipe. So they are able to go low when they want or need to do so. But I don't know more about the organ than that, I'm sorry to say. I can tell you what they're doing now. The tenor, the countertenor has his work cut out for him here. They'll be doing Bach's Cantata Ich habe genug, BWV 82. They'll do the aria from it. They'll do a recitative, Mein Trost ist nur allein. Another aria, Schlummert ein ihr matten Augen. A recitative, Mein Gott, wann kommt das schöne nun? And then another aria, Ich freue mich auf meinen Tod. I think that means I'm freeing myself from my death. Anyway, they'll but there will also be just pure organ solos as well. So the real star of this show is Tatiana Adrianova. For instance, she'll be playing Bach's Toccata, Adagio, and Fugue in C major. BWV 564, prelude, the chorale prelude, Schmucke dich, o liebe Seele. And for the oboe, there's a sonata in G major for oboe and basso continuo that they will be doing as well. It's, this is a very sophisticated Bach program of voice, oboe, and organ. If you really love Bach, I think it's one that you could really enjoy. We move then to the two concerts on Saturday, a Saturday afternoon concert in Moscow, and then a Saturday evening concert. So the Saturday afternoon concert will be very, very early. Let me, here, I can put up a picture of the organist for you first. The organist for the afternoon concert is Maria Moseyeva on the organ. Well, let me do the proper announcement for it first. Saturday, February 22nd, the Catholic Cathedral in Moscow live streams another one of its magical fairy tale story events, Sleeping Beauty, with organ, flute, and actors' narration and sand animation. That's right. It's a musical fairy tale. It's on at 3 o'clock Moscow time, which is 1 o'clock European time, 7 in the morning on the East Coast. And I don't think anybody's going to get up at 4 a.m. on the West Coast to watch it. But there you have it. That's what you will have. And it will be on at at 11 in the evening down under in Australia. It's a Maria Moseyeva on the organ, George Abrosov on the flute, an actress who often has done these. If you know the Catholic Cathedral in Moscow, they do things with narration fairly often, and they very often have the actress Ingeborga Lubomirska, who specializes in this kind of thing. And the sand animation will be done by Lydia Miller, who tells us on her Instagram page, "I love life to tears." And any artist who says that, well, wins my heart. She did sand animation for their Alice in Wonderland live stream back November 9th, and back in December on the 30th, she did sand animation for the Nutcracker and other music by Tchaikovsky and Tales. And I can show you a picture of what the sand animation looks like, as done by this is a clip from their Alice in Wonderland show that I'll present to you there. And in real time, as the concert is going on, projected on a video screen and on your screen as it's live streaming, she draws these images step by step of different scenes from the story, which the actress is then recounting. And it's quite magical to see what they can do with sand animation under these circumstances. If you want to know more about the music that they'll be playing, I can tell you about that too. While I'm doing so, why don't I put up a picture of two of them? Of Moseyeva, the organist and the harpist. Now, It was not easy for me to find out who Maria Moiseyeva was. The only way I was able to find it was by finally digging up an article in Spanish, because she is completely into Spanish music, especially early Spanish music. But I do have some facts about her. She's a professor at the Tchaikovsky Conservatory in Moscow, the history of foreign music, and she's also a senior researcher at the Moscow Institute of Art Theory. Apart from her organ playing. She was born in Moscow, 1982, so she's about 42 years old. Went to the Tchaikovsky Conservatory, graduated in 2001 as a musicologist with distinction. 5 years later, gets an organist diploma and a musicology diploma, again with distinction from the conservatory. But she did postgraduate work at the University of Seville, or Sevilla, as the Spanish call it, and the Manuel Castillo Conservatory of Music in Sevilla, and apparently it just won her heart over. She did a doctoral thesis about organ art in Spain in the High Renaissance and Baroque period. So that's who she is. The music they'll be using to tell this story will include Handel's The Arrival of the Queen of Sheba from the Oratorio Solomon, Purcell, a couple of fragments from Purcell's opera King Arthur, Passacaglia by Kushnarev, Johann Sebastian Bach's The Joke, a poem by Charles Tomlinson Griffiths called The Poem, a little night music by Mozart, and they'll be finishing up with Mussorgsky's The Old Castle. So if you want a magical organ storytelling experience, I'm telling you, I just think the sand animation is the cat's meow. It was invented in the United States. It was invented by a student named Caroline Leaf, who was an undergrad at Harvard. She made a film called Sand, and she did sand animation in it. But now it has, there's an article out you can find online, who are the top 10 sand animation artists, and they're from Egypt, India, Belarus, China, Ukraine, Israel, Albania, Hungary, Netherlands, and Canada. So it's everywhere now, and rightly so. I think it's lovely stuff. So if you want to get up early to watch it in the U.S. or enjoy it noontime in Europe, it's a lovely way to spend some time this coming Saturday. So we have one more that I want to tell you about. And let me get up a picture of her for you. Actually, there are two people involved in this one. This next one involves harps in addition to the organ. They are always adding something to it. At the Catholic Cathedral in Moscow, or very often. It's rarely just the organ playing. So, let me do a proper announcement of this one. Saturday, the Catholic Cathedral in Moscow proposes a live stream of romantic music with an organ and two harps playing Pachelbel, Handel, Bach, Boccherini, Gounod, and more. It'll be at 8 o'clock in the evening, Moscow time, 6 o'clock European time, noon on the East Coast, 9 in the morning on the West Coast. It will be Marina Omelchenko on the organ, and the two harpists are Anna Skurovskaya and Kristina Roskova. There is the organist Omelchenko there. I can show you a photo of one of the two organists, but the other of them, it was just too hard to find a photo of her. Here is Anna Skurovskaya, the organist who will be playing these romantic pieces of music for you on Saturday. I can give you some of the specifics of their program. Pachelbel's Canon in D major, arranged for two harps and organ. Handel, some pieces from the Water Music, and The Arrival of the Queen of Sheba from the Oratorio Solomon. Bach's chorale, the chorale prelude, Liebster Jesu, wir sind hier. Joaquin Rodrigo's Adagio from the Concerto de Aranjuez, arranged for harp by N. Sabaleta, and other pieces by Marcel Grangiani, Gaspar Sanz, Luigi Boccherini, Ottorini Respighi, and finishing up with the Bach Gounod arrangement of the Ave Maria. So that is the lovely concert they have prepared for you. You have three lovely concerts, I think, one after another to enjoy this week. The first of them will be on Wednesday. All Bach concert with organ, oboe, and voice. The second one will be in the afternoon in Europe, the Sleeping Beauty fairy tale with sand animation. And then the third will be in the evening in Europe, noontime, and in the morning on the West Coast, a romantic concert with an organ and two harps. So it's a lovely program this week. And our thanks to Art Bene, the wonderful channel on YouTube, which principally is devoted to doing live streams from the Roman Catholic Cathedral. They're always quality live streams, and they're always free of charge. So I commend them to you. If you attend any of them, I encourage you also to check into the chat box on YouTube, because there's usually a lively group of people following these Art Bene live streams from the Roman Catholic Cathedral and from all over the world, and it's great fun. It's like you get to sit in the back row and crack jokes and pass notes, and ushers can't do anything about it because they can't hear you. So I want to remind you one more time, if you're watching on Facebook, click the like button. We'll invite you to follow us. If you're watching on YouTube, click on the subscribe button. And on our other 4 platforms where we live stream, don't just like the video, like us. Follow or subscribe to Access Arts Live on X, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. And we promise we will get you in return 1,000 live performances online in 2025, the better part of them free of charge. Ciao for now.